Hello everyone, let us continue learning C++ programming. In our previous video, we discussed about how to print factors of a given number using a conventional for loop, and the for loop ran from 1 till n and which has a complexity of O of n. Now, is there a way by which we can reduce the complexity of the given number? Let's try it now. Now let us dig into some of the details about factors. When you talk about factors of any given number, for example, let us take a number as 36, where n value is 36. The factors of this number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, and 36. So a number like 36 has got 9 different factors, and those 9 factors are listed below. Now, in this case, we obviously know for any given number, the number itself and 1 will always be a factor. The number 1 and 1 will always be a factor. So talking about the second largest factor of a given number, which is the second largest factor of 36, and simultaneously let's talk about second largest factor of any number. Second largest factor for any number you consider, it could be a even number or a prime even number or an odd number or anything else. The second largest factor of any number is always equal to or lesser than the number by 2 itself. It is never ever possible for a number to have a second largest factor which is more than half of its own number. So taking this into consideration, what we can ideally do is, obviously we all know that 1 and n will always be a factor of the given number. I can reduce my iterations from 2 till n by 2 lesser than equal to n by 2. So by this way, what I could do is nothing but I'm reducing the complexity of O of n to O of n by 2. So I'm reducing my work by half. First, let's implement this ideology or this code. So let us take the help of a previous code what we have written. And here is the code which we had. And by default, we know that 1 is always a factor of the given number. So let us start the iteration from 2. And we all know that it is enough. We run the iteration only till n by 2. So I'm setting the limit as I less than equal to n by 2. So which means I have to push back 2 more n values extra. So push underscore back of 1 and a semicolon. And the final value to be pushed is AR dot push underscore back of n, the given number itself. So let us check this code once again. Let's clear the screen G++ and the file name factor.cpp -o fact. So the compilation looks successful. Let us run the code. Fact.exe. So again, I'm entering a number as 56. It prints me all the factors of 56 and 36, 100, 102, 1317, 1773, and it prints factors of all the given number which I have provided successfully. Still then, I wanted to test the complexity of this program. So I'm trying to increase the numbers I'm going to provide as input, increase its length basically. So when I run this file, this time I'm going to give a number input which minimum has 6 digits in it. Still, it says the answer in a very quicker time. The program is still efficient. Let us have 1 extra digit of 7 digits. Still, the program is efficient. Let us have 8 digits. The program still considered to be efficient. Let us reverse it. Let us have a bigger 8-digit number. So 87654321. Now, it is still an 8-digit number, but it is slightly bigger than the previous number what we have provided as input. It took a fraction of second delay to print the output, but still looks fine for me. Let us run the code for a 9-digit number. A small minimalistic 9-digit number. The program took even extra bit of time to print the output. Let us run it for a bigger 9-digit number. This number is ideally 8 or 9 times greater than the previous number what we have provided. So delay is going to be obviously evident. This can be seen as you can see on the screen. It waits for an extra bit of second to print the output. So the program takes a bit of time to print it. So it is getting delayed. That is obvious. So the complexity part is failing at this juncture. Now let us think about how this can be rectified or how this can be improvised. Now let us clear the screen. And getting back to the same detail. Now, there is a crazy note which you have to remember about factors. When you list the factors of a given number, for example, let me take a number like 24, n value as 24. The factors of this given number are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. Now we are running a loop for the range of 2 till n by 2. So this is the range we are running it. And we all know the obvious numbers 1 and 24 are always there. Is there any other effective way we can do? Now the check condition what we wrote there was n modulo I equal to 0. And by this statement, what I'm meaning is when I divide a number by I, the remainder is 0. Now this gives me a question of what could be the quotient. When I divide a number by I might get a value for the quotient as, let me assume as j. Now framing this value into an equation, I can say n by I is equal to j, where I is one of the factor of n. And this statement can be reversed in such a way that n by j is equal to I, where j can also be considered as a factor. So by the proof of mathematics associativity theorem. In such cases, I'm not only finding one factor at a time, I'm finding two factors just by finding out one of the pair of factors. And that is evidently seen in this pair. When one is a factor, obviously n divided by I, that is n divided by 1, 24 is also a factor. 2 into 12 is the same number. 3 into 8 is the same number. 4 into 6 is the same number. And this becomes your exact midpoint. So just by spotting the first 4 factors of a given number, eventually you will be able to spot the remaining 4 other factors without any further due delay. So running an iteration for this area or this block of numbers is a real waste of time what we are spending. In that case, what is this midpoint is considered to be? What is this midpoint? And this can be found out with the help of another example, that is n value of 36. Let us spot all the factors of the number 36. Let us start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, and 36. And the number has got 9 different factors. And the factor pairs are 1 into 36 becomes 36. 2 into 18 is 36. 3 into 12 is 36. 4 into 9 is again 36. So 6 into 6 itself is 36. So this becomes your exact midpoint. And this value is none other than the square root of the number itself. So hope this idea was pretty much effective. Let us implement this strategy and complete the code. So it's enough if I run the value, if I run the loop till square root of n. So instead of having the limit of starting from I is equal to 2 and running it till I less than equal to n by 2, I would change this as square root of n. So square root is a functionality which is available under the math.h header file. So let us include math. Let us get back to our coding window. In this place, I would like to include math.h, the header file which we need. And in order to use it, I need a common integer variable int lmt is equal to square root of the given number. And square root function returns a double value, and that is being stored in an integer variable. So it gets truncated. So I less than equal to lmt. So it is not enough if we push back only one value. I need to push back 2 values. AR dot push underscore back of n by I. So this is done. Let us clear the screen. Let us compile it once again and run it up. What is the answer we get? And I'm providing the number of 24 as an input. It prints 1, 2, 12, 3, 8, 4, 6, 12. The numbers are random in order. It is not sorted. Even though it prints all the factors of the given number, it prints in a random order because of being a vector. And when it's being copied, the order is not maintained. So what I should do in order to fix things is I need to sort it. So let us see how this can be sorted using our libraries. Let us call the sort function here. After pushing the value, sort of AR dot begin, comma AR dot end. I'm providing the starting and ending indexes. Let's clear the screen. Let's compile it. So sort needs to be declared from a header file. The sort function is present inside the algorithm header file and it is compiled and successful. Let's run the code. For a number of 24, it prints all the factors in the order. Now what I can do in addition is nothing but let us try for a perfect square number of 36. Now it is not printing 9 factors here, it is printing me 10 factors and you would know the reason why. And the reason being is 36 being a perfect square number, the number of 6 will be appended twice. So there are multiple choices which I can perform. And the first among the choices, let's not run till limit. Let us run only till lesser than limit. And if n modulo LMT equal to 0, only then AR dot push underscore back of LMT. This is one among the solution. So that part of a number being duplicated twice is being fixed. Else, I can use some other data structure, something like linked list or something like hash, which does not, or set maybe, which does not store any of the duplicate elements in it. So this is the optimal solution which we can provide for finding the factors of a given number. And the idea we have done it is the help of the square root functionality. And this way of writing a code with a complexity of square root of n is considered to be a primality testing part, which is one of the common component of testing phases as well as time complexity programs. Thank you.